Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to All-Star Break for Season 5 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, and welcome you to Armory Digital Superspeedway as we're getting set for two different races in one video here at this big 2.6 mile restricted play racetrack. Now, the format for this season's All-Star race is going to be quite different. The All-Star Open, which is the first race we're about to do, is going to be a quick 5-lap dash, and it's only going to be the winner who's going to advance to the 15-lap main event, the All-Star race itself. So without further ado, as you see the starting lineup on your screen with Anthony McCrory starting on the pole for the Open, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the All-Star Open at Armory Digital.
Drivers, start your engines!
So we got 16 drivers in this open race that either are rookies or haven't won a race in quite a while or haven't won a race over the last 2 seasons. So, which is why you see quite a few veterans and legends in this race, people like McCrory, Sanford, Lamas, among others. But you also got pretty much all the rookies except for one. Ryan Butcher was the only rookie that made it into the All-Star race, and that was due to him winning a race earlier this season. Trent Dunham I see starting in the last row next to Diego Yepes. But yeah, this is going to be a quick 5-lap dash, and whoever wins transfers to the All-Star race itself. And then after this, we get 15 laps for the 25-driver main event, as the pace car pulls in the pit road, and we're getting set to get racing going here at Armory Digital Superspeedway for the All-Star Open and then eventually the All-Star race itself. As drivers coming through the tri-oval, and now they're up and running, and it's time to boogity 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 go racing. Man, it was close at the line right there for 4 drivers, but it was Cody Lamas that led that lap. Just imagine if that was the last lap. That would have been incredible. But now we got a new leader, Dylan Thoreau, with the spot for now, but Paul Minnick, with help from Colin Phillips, is going to get a big run. Now, the one thing these drivers do not want is a caution, because if a caution comes out, the race would end under caution. As right now they're still running 4 wide for a couple of rows up here at the front. but Paul Minnick still hanging on strong. Now, one thing I forgot to mention from the offset was we go here into turn 1 and look at the safer barrier, how it jets out a little bit with the beginning of that safer barrier. We had last season in the All-Star race one of the most insane wrecks that this series has ever produced, and that was when Charles Sanford got sent up into the jetted out safer barrier and went flying about 100 feet in the air, and major wreck happened as a result. So that's definitely going to be one thing to keep an eye out for, is to see if anybody's going to get out of shape enough to where they're going to get into that safer barrier. As it's side by side for the lead between Trent Dunham and Diego Yepes, but it looks like Trent managed to get the lead and keep it for himself, as it's now less than 2 to go. And I see 5 wide. Luckily, though, this track has got plenty of space to make something like that work as long as nobody leans. But I'm going to helicopter view to see how these drivers are going to be 5 wide. As now they're 5 wide for 2 rows, but now it gets settled out to 4 wide. So smart move on the part of those drivers. But right now, Trent Dunham hanging on strong with that lead. He's going to have to do a whole lot of blocking if he's going to be able to try and make it to the All-Star race itself coming up immediately after this, as the white flag is out for the All-Star 5-lap dash open. So now if they wreck, it won't matter. James Shelley's got to run to the inside of Trent Dunham, but he needs some drafting help. And he's not really getting any right now, and he's still just to the quarter panel, not completely underneath the 1. And now he's got the run he needs, because he's going to be on the bottom here, and if he can clear Trent Dunham, then he's pretty much good to go. He's still not quite cleared of Trent Dunham just yet. As we're getting ready to come to the line, oh, it's going to be a drag race, but James Shelley wins the All-Star Open at Armory Digital and will transfer to the main event. Close finish at the line by 3/100ths of a second. James Shelley outran and outraced Trent Dunham to win the All-Star Open to get into the All-Star race itself. So, coming up, stick around in just a moment, because we're about to get started with the 15-lap main event here at Armory Digital. But before we get to that, here are your final results of the All-Star Open. Welcome back to All-Star Break action here at Armory Digital Superspeedway, as we're getting set for the 25-driver, 15-lap main event, the All-Star race itself here at Armory Digital Superspeedway. As you see the starting lineup, Rafael Leduc will be starting on the pole. James Shelley, the Open winner, qualified 9th, so could he go for the clean sweep? We're about to find out, as let's get the command to fire engines for the All-Star race here at Armory Digital.
Drivers, start your engines.
All 25 drivers on the racetrack now. So I feel like with this bigger field, it's going to get a little more chaotic. I got a feeling we could be in for something special here in this race. 25 drivers, 15 laps. It's going to get really intense, I'm predicting. Now, like I have pointed out before, the one thing nobody wants to have happen is getting into that jetted out safer barrier, really in either turn 1 or turn 3, because like I said, we saw what happened last time we had a race here at Armory, which was the All-Star race in Season 4, and we all know what happened with that. Nobody wants to experience a crazy crash like that. But a lot of drivers in this field who haven't won a race yet this season are definitely looking to this race to kickstart a bit of momentum. Guys like Rafael Leduc, who's sort of been up and down this season. Same with even the Daytona 500 winner, Jessica Shelton. Dougie Shears, who's coming off of winning 2 of the last 3 races, and I see he's starting towards the back. But the drivers are now getting up to speed. It's time to boogity, 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 go All-Star Racing. Dylan Poteet led that lap at the line, but now Ryan Butcher has the spot for now. And I see 5 wide towards the back of the pack. As let me go to helicopter camera and keep an eye on that. Okay, now it's settled out to 4 wide. And a couple of cars kind of losing it a little bit. DJ Curtis still within arm's reach, but Benjamin Miles starting to lose the front pack a little bit, which is not good. But right now, Ryan Butcher has the position. And Butcher got to lead that lap, but you got a couple of new contenders up here. Jake Baskinger trying to take second away from Dylan Poteet. Now, basically, the big reward for winning this race is you get guaranteed rides for this series until the series is eventually over, which that is not happening anytime soon. So basically, if you win this race, you're guaranteed a spot in this series for a long, long time. And I saw Rafael Leduc go way up high. Jessica Shelton into the wall. No, there they go. Kyle Matthews spinning through the grass. Matt McIntyre driving through the grass. But I don't think that will necessitate a caution since they didn't spin on the racetrack. I thought I saw a spin happen right there, but yeah, no caution. But unless a caution does come out, that just took out Matt McIntyre and Kyle Matthews out of contention to win this race. Oh man, I thought they were going to go 6 wide right there. That would have been wacky. But they are trying to push 5 wide right now. And they are 5 wide, at least for the time being. Back up at the front, Dylan Poteet has retaken the lead. As we still got 11 laps to go here in the All-Star race itself. Dylan Poteet hanging on to the lead, and he's got a little gap between himself and Ryan Butcher, who's got help from Jake Baskinger, as things are getting really dicey behind them from 4th on back. as I continue to look around. And yeah, Jessica Sheldon and those who kind of slipped back a little bit from getting into the wall or when that spin took place, they're now back up here in contention. Benjamin Miles still within reach of the tail end of the pack, but he's just needing to get that, needs that air suck up to get to the back bumper of right now being Dougie Shears. 4 wide right here, and 3 of those 4 are affiliate teammates from Furniture Row and Backmarker Motorsports. Other than that, it's kind of spread out to more single file racing up here at the front. Poteet still has the lead over Ryan Butcher, but James Qualls has taken 3rd away from Jake Baskinger. Maybe Qualls has got a little surprise up his sleeve. Zachary Fitzwater now, he's trying to get a run underneath of Baskinger to take 4th. And now Qualls, he's heir to the quarter panel of Ryan Butcher, and looks like he will be able to take 2nd away from the 6 car. Poteet, however, still has the lead, but he's got a couple of fast cars coming up to him, Qualls and Fitzwater, although Fitzwater is going to try and take 2nd away from Qualls. As they're still side by side, Tim Fiegel, I notice, he's now entered into the picture as he's trying to get the 4th spot from Ryan Butcher. And now Butcher is going to try and make it 3 wide for 3rd. But Butcher actually was able to clear Fiegel right there. As we're pretty much around the halfway point. After this lap, it will be 7 to go. Right now, we're at 8 to go. And Poteet's still hanging on strong with that lead. Nobody, ever since he got into the lead, nobody's been able to challenge him. Ryan Butcher, however, he's got 2nd back, and now a couple of partnerships starting, or that were starting to form, draft-wise. Joshua Collard trying to push Jake Baskinger, but it's not really working out for him as they are both stuck in the middle to high grooves. As things have definitely scattered out throughout the field, and Benjamin Miles, yeah, it's safe to say he is officially, yeah, he has lost the draft, so there went his chances unless a caution comes out. But right now, Poteet's still holding off Zachary Fitzwater, although here comes Fitzwater. He decided it's go time to go to the lead. And he's got that run on the inside. As look at the gap those two have over 3rd place on back. Really interesting. While Poteet led at the line right there, Fitzwater's got that run on the bottom and still not able to clear to 31, but he's going to have the big advantage. And look at those 3, Sheldon, Young, and LeDuc. They were right around like behind Joshua Collard, and now they're up here in contention now. Although Dylan Young split that group up, and now he was trying to get the bottom to work, but because he didn't have much speed, Sheldon was able to keep that spot. While Fitzwater tried to get the lead, Poteet, I guess he's just got such a strong car, he can run any line that he wants to and make it stick. 5 laps to go here in the All-Star race. Dylan Poteet with the lead. 2nd right now, Zachary Fitzwater. 3rd, James McLeod. 4th, Tim Fiegel. And then, or actually no, 4th, Ryan Butcher. Then 5th, Tim Fiegel. Then the rest of the top 10 according to scoring are Jessica Sheldon, Jake Baskinger, Rafael LeDuc, Emmanuel Hardnett, and Dylan Young, although I feel like that's about to change. And it looks like if we stay green the rest of the way, these leaders could catch Kyle Matthews, but Matthews isn't slow or off the pace. He's just by himself with no drafting help. So once they were to catch him, the 42 would just blend in with the main pack. And now Fitzwater, after working over the 31 for so long, he's now finally got the race lead. And yeah, they are definitely catching the 42 at Matthews. As yeah, the leaders are going about 12 miles per hour faster than the 42. But like I said, the 42 isn't damaged or off the pace. He was just stuck by himself. But Fitzwater, because he caught the 42, he had to slow down a little bit. And that's going to help for Ryan Butcher to take the lead back. 3 laps to go here in the All-Star race, and if a caution were to come out now, the race would end. But right now, Ryan Butcher has a huge lead as they're now 5 wide almost, with Matthews, the lap car, now sort of in the middle of all that. It's like it's taking more time for the 42 to get up to speed in the draft, but I think he's going to be able to keep it together. As now Ryan Butcher's big lead he had, it has now shrunk because here comes the rest of the drivers back up here into the picture. James McLeod being one of the big ones, as he's got a full head of steam on the bottom. Although Fitzwater is going to make it 3 wide for second, or actually make that third. Maybe now 4 wide for second as Fiegel got forced up high. But look at the speed of the 91 of Fitzwater. Less than 2 laps to go now. But you got a couple of drivers who had been in the back all day so far. Dylan Jacobs, Jay Jefferson, Joshua Sekuli. They're now up here into the picture. And you gotta wonder if they're going to catch Matt McIntyre in time. But Fitzwater's finally looking like he's going to be able to get the lead for himself and lead a lap, with help from James McLeod, as he clears Ryan Butcher and McLeod for the position. And now the white flag is out, so if a wreck happens, it ain't going to matter. But look at this, Tweenix teammates working together. Poteet trying to push McLeod up there, but Poteet ends up leaving the 51 hanging. The 31, who's been the strongest car of the night, he feels it's go time to get the lead for himself back. And it looks like they may catch the 32, and that can really, really change the outcome of this race. Which lane is the 32 going to block? Is he going to block the outside or inside? It looks like he's going to block the outside. And it looks like it's all Dylan Poteet. No one is close to him at all. Checkered flag waving. Dylan Poteet wins the All-Star race at Armory Digital Superspeedway. Pretty much a dominating performance by the 31, despite losing the lead a couple of times. He managed to come back and get the win on the lap that mattered most. So Dylan Poteet will be guaranteed a ride in this series for a long, long time. Let's look at the rest of the results. Jake Baskinger, after that lap traffic of Matt McIntyre, he comes through with a second place run. Tim Fiegel, third solid performance. Poteet's teammate James McLeod finishing out in fourth, and then Zachary Fitzwater, who ended up getting held up as a result of the lap traffic, comes through in fifth. And then the rest of the top 10 you see on your screen: Ryan Butcher, Joshua Collar, Joshua Sekuli, Jessica Sheldon, James Qualls. Then there's the rest of your top 20, led by Dylan Jacobs, ends with Sean Galligan. And then the final 5 drivers, with Matt McIntyre and Kyle Matthews being a lap down. Well, that does it for our coverage for All-Star Break here at Armory Digital Superspeedway. We're going back to points racing here in a couple of days as we're getting set for the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. But until then, here are your final results of the All-Star race, and this is Levi McIntyre signing off.